everybody. Welcome to Tai Chi Chih, Joy Through Movement. This is a full practice. We're going to do 6 repetitions on a side of the forward-backward movements and 3 sets of the side-to-side movements. And if this is the very first time you're stumbling across Tai Chi Chih, welcome. I encourage you to watch the other individual movement instructional videos leading up to this and get some grounding in the practice. If you want to follow along, by all means, but I think it's always a good idea to have a sort of a grounding in what you're doing in the movements before you do a full practice. So remember that we're going to focus our concentration or our awareness always as much as possible in the bottoms of the feet. And the quality of movement is slow motion in a dream, or flowing as if swimming through very heavy air. And we are going to also flow from the center, which we consider the dantian, which is this area about 2 inches below the navel. And really we're flowing from this area forward and backward and side to side, and we're rooting ourselves or anchoring our full awareness in the bottoms of the feet. And everything else will take care of itself. So here we go. Rocking motion. I will mirror you, and we'll do 9 repetitions of rocking motion. Step side left. Feel your feet and breathe. If you're wearing shoes, as you shift your weight back, just lift your toes in your shoes. Don't pick up the whole foot. Coming up on the toes. As soon as the heels touch, the knees soften to absorb the weight shift back. And we'll close after this. Bring your left foot back. And then everything sinks. Take a breath. Don't skip over the graceful conclusion or resting pose. That's a very important element to each of the movements, where we've separated the yin chi and the yang chi by circulating it, and then we're bringing it back together, and that's a very important part. Okay, bird flaps its wings. Slow to return. Flap out. Slow. And then wrist circle forward, 1 to the top of the second one. Depends on how you count. You can count at 1 or 1.5. 1, flap. 2. And then wrist circle. Coming back up. Drop the knees forward as you flap out. That's Fergus. He may make an appearance. Scoop up. Hi. Hi. Take a breath. So we aren't blocking anything out when we do Tai Chi Chih practice, clearly. Around the platter, I'll mirror you. 6 repetitions. Shift to your right, sink, step forward with your left heel, hands up at chest height. Feel your feet and breathe. Last one. Hands wait, foot comes in. Take a breath. You can choose to stay down now and then shift and step, or you can stand and breathe. I'm going to stand and breathe for all of us just before we do the other side. You really want to make sure that you're connected to the bottoms of your feet, especially if you're just learning this practice, and that's why standing in between can be helpful. So again, feel your feet and breathe. Great. Round platter on your right. Shift, sink, step forward. Luxuriate in the curve. And one more. Hands wait, and everything sinks. Focus in the bottoms of the feet. Okay. Variation on around the platter. 6 sets, repetitions. I'll mirror you. Left foot forward, flat, 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 pick up a ball off your left shoulder, release. Flat through the front, pick up the ball off the shoulder. Be aware of the connection between the palms. We call that polarity between the palms. One more. Take a breath. And other side. Flat, flat, flat. Pick up ball off the right shoulder. Release in front. Make sure your fingertips are pointing straight up. And one more. Hands wait. Everything sinks. Take a breath. and breathe. Bass drum, 6 repetitions. Shift, sink, step. And Justin says about a foot apart, palm to palm, and then he used to move his hand. He'd say, your hands are about a foot apart, and then he'd move them to closer than a foot apart. So you find that, but feel what it feels like to have them a little closer than a foot apart, maybe 6 to 8 inches. Remember, we're going to roll the wrists down, roll the fingertips down as the bass drum is traced with the wrists. And the wrists don't really go below the waist, even though the fingertips go a little bit below at the bottom there. The wrists are at the waist in almost all of the movements except for passing clouds. So that's a good thing to remember. Palm to palm connection. And breathe. We'll do one more. Take a breath. You'll notice that there's a certain pulsing or finger flutter in the hands. That's an involuntary expression of the energy moving through the system. You don't need to imitate that. That may happen, though, for you involuntarily, and it's just a sign that the energy is flowing through your system. And that also may express itself as warmth or tingling or warmth inside the body and cooler hands externally. All that's neither here nor there. We don't worry about that, but just sort of FYI. If you don't feel any of those things, it doesn't mean that the energy is not being balanced and circulated, so don't worry about it. Just focus your attention on the soles of the feet. Most important thing. Here we go. Take a breath. Bass drum on your right. Shift, sink, step. And again, just luxuriate. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. No one to be, other than just here. Awareness in the bottoms of the feet. The effort of no effort. Feel that dantian flow forward and back. And last one. That's great. Bring your foot in, everything sinks together. Take a breath. And then stand and breathe. Okay. Well, daughter on the mountaintop. 6 repetitions. I'll mirror you, shift, sink, step forward with your left heel, and your hands start sort of, if you had creases of your pants, roughly about here, we can always already feel or the connection or the polarity between the palms. Hinging at the elbows. I'm not mirroring you on this part. Your left hand is closest to your face. Coming forward. Here's the high point, shifting down, the dantian moving back, pulls the hands down, the dantian moving forward, the weight shift coming forward, pushes the hands up. So find that synchronization. one more. Hands come around, everything sinks, take a breath. Stand and breathe. Great. Daughter on the mountaintop, other side. That means your right side. Shift to your left, sink, step forward. Your left hand is still closest to your face, so don't forget that part. And I'm not mirroring you on that part. Feel your feet and breathe. We'll do one more. Great. Okay. Daughter in the Valley, I'm going to turn to the side on this one so you can make sure you have the timing down, but you're going to be stepping out with your left foot. Start at your shoulders, and here's that point where both the feet are double yang, and it's the midpoint, it's equally weighted, and the hands are right here in front of the wrists at the waist. And now I'm going to keep moving forward as the hands come up, and then let the body pull the hands back. Still moving forward. Now pulling back. And one more. Hands weight at the shoulders, foot comes in, everything sinks. Take a breath. Now do it on the side now with your right foot stepping out. Shift, sink, step forward with your right foot, hands start at the shoulders, and here's that midpoint. We're going to pass right through it as we still shift our weight forward and the hands come up. And then they separate. Feel the bottoms of your feet and breathe. We'll call this one 6. Hands weight, foot comes in, everything sinks. Take a breath. Great. Good job so far. So next movement in the series is carry the ball to the side. 3 sets to your left and 3 sets to your right. I'm going to move over just a little bit so there's enough space here. Here we go. And we're going to initiate with the Dantian. Step with your Tai Chi step, heel goes down first, then the foot flattens and the feet stay flat through the whole movement. Opposite hand, which is my right hand because I'm shifting the weight onto the left leg across the bottom, neutral over the top. release. Don't be afraid to look down and check your foot position as many times as you need to. It's always okay. You can always adjust. Slowly shift the weight onto the left leg, waist twist, shift back. If you're working on the hip swivel, be sure to include that, because that's very important as well. But take your time and learn everything. We can be patient. Good, now the other direction, sink, gather, step side right, and because I'm moving into the right leg, my left hand is slightly emphasized across the bottom, and then neutral back over the top. Release. Wrists at the waist, polarity between the palms, 60% emphasis in the bottom hand across the bottom. Sorry, in the left hand across the bottom. Neutral over the top. One more set. Your head stays mostly forward. Your shoulders stay mostly forward. They come along for the ride just a little bit, but it's the waist that does the turning. Take a breath. Good. Okay. Next movement is a forward-backward movement, push-pull, 6 repetitions on a side. Shift, sink, step forward with your left foot. And the same thing like in carry the ball to the side, there's a 60% mental emphasis in the opposite hand, in the opposite hand to the foot that's out. So your left foot is out, your right hand has that slight emphasis to balance. This hand becomes yang to balance the yang leg onto which we're shifting. Slightly downward pointing elliptical shape, traced with the wrists, turn from the pinkies, neutral over the top. Curve over the top as well. Feel your feet and breathe. Good. And one more. Breathe. And then stand and breathe. So when I stand up in between, I'm really sensing I need another moment of feeling my feet before I continue. And so you're always allowed in between sides or in between movements to stand if you really need to connect even further and re-establish your focus in the bottoms of the feet. So, and also not fatigue yourself in this position. So breathe again and feel the bottoms of the feet. Okay, push-pull. This time on your right side, shift, sink, step. And because the right leg is out, we're going to place a slight 60% emphasis in the left hand going out. And I'm going to adjust my feet because they're not quite right. There we go. Neutral coming back. Can always adjust. Feel your feet and breathe. Over the top into the heart area. Don't throw it over your shoulders. That means don't do that. Over the top into the heart. Last one. Take a breath. Good. Okay. Next movement, pulling in the energy. Remember, this is the movement that has the visualization of the light from the most distant star flowing in through your fingertips. And Justin said, not through your fingers, your fingertips. So we'll be sure. And Justin Stone, who I refer to regularly, Justin Stone, the originator of Tai Chi Chih. Shift, sink, step. It's around the platter, palms up. Visualizing the light from the most distant star flowing in through our fingertips. So we're visualizing, but we're also feeling and allowing our awareness to rest in the bottoms of our feet. Don't lose that focus. Last one. Okay. Other side, pulling in the energy. 6 repetitions. Same visualization, the light from the most distant star flowing in through your fingertips. Swimming through very heavy air. Slow motion in a dream. We'll do one more. Nice. And close. Basic pulling taffy. We'll do 3 sets, starting to your left. It's okay for your eyes to follow slightly the palm up hand. But if you do that, make sure your top hand pushes down the leg and doesn't turn off to the side. So don't follow that palm up hand unless you're really confident and you can feel and see that the palm down hand. Let's do one more set. You might have done 3, you might have done 4, that's okay. last one. Stand and breathe. Okay, pulling Taffy. First variation, anchor step. Remember, the back heel stays down, and when you step forward, it's a shorter stance than when you normally step forward for the forward-backward movements, and it's slightly pigeon-toed. So let's try. Slightly pigeon-toed. Back heel stays down. That helps with the power found in the waist, the uncorking. Wind up. Feel that beautiful waist twist or waist untwist. Side. Forward left. Side left. Forward right. Side right. One more set. Forward left. Forward right. And close. Feel the bottoms of your feet. Great. Okay. Variation 2, pulling Taffy, wrist circles. And you might get a runny nose, especially if you have allergies when you do Tai Chi Chih, and that's fine. It's just sort of Tai Chi Chih basically dries up the aqueous excess, but sometimes the aqueous excess, comes in the form of a runny nose. So here we go. Up on the toes as the fingertips point up, down, up, down. Sink, complete that partial third circle, and then pull across. 1, 2, sink. Don't miss that partial circle. Pull the weight all the way across. 1, 2, wind up. One more set. Up. Feel the spherical nature around which the palms are tracing. Pause, push through, feel that whole. Good. One more. Partial circle and pull across. Take a breath. Great. Stand and breathe. Okay. Perpetual motion, that's the third variation of pulling Taffy. Wind up, step side left, pull across, and then pick up your right foot just a little bit, touching back down with the heel so that your feet are slightly closer together. Pick up, put down, pull across. Don't forget the waist twist and the hip swivel as you are able. turning of the waist pulls the top hand down and around beautifully. It's all connected from the dantian. As the waist turns, top hand comes under, waist turn. We'll do one more set. I think we did more than 6, that's okay. And then bring your left foot back, take a breath. Great, and stand and breathe. We're going to do working the pulley next. 6 repetitions on a side. I'm going to turn to the side. You'll step out with your left foot. Shift, sink, step. And again, the turning of the waist. Delicious. Feel it. Back heel pivots in towards the midline. Front toes pivot away from the midline. Top hand comes past the neck. Your head mostly stays pointed straight ahead. Unless you're talking into a video camera, in which case we take some liberties. This is our last one. Left hand, I'm sorry, your right hand waits. Left hand, left foot. Take a breath. Nice. Okay, other side. Shift, sink, step forward with your right foot. The palm up hand stays at waist level until the elbow comes fully behind the body, and then the hand releases a little bit downward. So watch again. Waist level, and then releases downward. Feel your feet and breathe. Last one, let your left hand wait, right hand and right foot come up and round, and everything sinks. Okay. Light at the top of the head, light at the temple. Keep your concentration in the bottoms of your feet as your hands come up, palm to palm. If your shoulders are tight, you can bring your hands a little forward, no problem. Sink down, come up on the toes. 1, opening at the wrists. 2, 3, heels down, mixing forward. Feel the bottoms of your feet. And then we hold, we mix for 5, and then we hold for 5. And then soften your knees. Come up on the toes once, heels back down. Up twice. Up. Heels touch and stay down as you scoop with left hand closest to the face. And then push through. Light at the temple. Center the palms at the temples. 1. Heels down, mix. hold. And sink. 1, 2, up and around. Left hand closest to the face. Turn over. Take a breath. Nice. And stand and breathe. Okay. Joyous breath. Feet are about shoulder width apart. Soft exhale down. Release your wrists. Now vigorously inhale. Coming up on the toes, and then exhale strongly. Release your wrists. One more. Heels come down on the third one. Release. Bring your left foot back. And then graceful conclusion. Take a breath. Great. Passing clouds, starting to your right. Step with the Tai Chi step. We'll do about 6. Feel your feet. One more. Left hand weights, right hand, right foot, come up and around, and take a breath. Great. Stand and breathe. All right. And for the final movement, 6 healing sounds, here we go. I'm mirroring you. Back heel stays down. One more set. Four more trees. Pick up, put down with the heel first. Tree. 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 Last one. Tree. Justin always did this little roll at the end. Just sort of one turn, almost like you're wrapping up a package. You don't have to do that, but you can if you want. And take a breath. And then the final pose of cosmic consciousness. I'm not going to mirror you on this. Left heel and right ankle, left hand closest to your face, elbows parallel to the ground. Lean a little to your left, balance the weight. Your left heel is on your ankle, it's touching. Feel the bottoms of the feet. And then bring your gaze through the thumbs to about 6 feet in front. Your external gaze is downward pointing. Your internal awareness is downward flowing. breathe. And then heel and hands back into a graceful conclusion. Feel the bottoms of the feet on the floor. And breathe. And then stand. And pat yourself on the back. So not so silent, a little silent, but anyway, congratulations on doing a full practice of Tai Chi Chih. Well done.